Hello from Russell and from me. Welcome to the programme.
First tonight, parents of young people who killed themselves at universities have handed in a petition to Downing Street calling for educational institutions to have a legal duty of care towards their students.
Every year, around 100 students take their own lives at university. Campaigners want students to have the same protection that applies to employers to keep their staff safe at work.
One mother said a catalogue of errors by the University of East Anglia meant her 21-year-old son took his own life instead of getting the help he desperately needed. Natalie Gray reports.
These are children who died, and we need to save more lives.
More than 120,000 people have signed their petition. Among them, the mother of Theo Brennan-Hume, who was 21 when he died by suicide in 2019 at the University of East Anglia.
The university let Theo down massively. It was a catalogue of errors and his death was preventable. They were aware of his deterioration. All they needed to do was to ring home, to ring me, to ring 999, to ring a crisis team.
Beverley Bishop's son Jess took his own life just 2.5 weeks after starting at the UEA in October 2018. The young man from North Walsham in Norfolk was buried on his 21st birthday.
Because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me.
Beverley doesn't blame the university for what happened to Jess, but does think we could all do more.
I think we all have a responsibility, and I think we have a responsibility to ourselves, we have a responsibility to each other, and I think all organisations, all businesses, all educational establishments have a duty of care.
She still reads his last texts, which gave no sense of the crisis he was feeling. Meanwhile, Theo's mum wishes more than anything that her beautiful middle child had got a job instead of going to university.
I wish Theo had started work and not gone to university, and there would have been a duty of care for him at work. People at work would not have watched his deterioration. They would have rung a next of kin. They would have rung a doctor. They would have rung somebody. It's dangerous to not have a duty of care for our students.
A spokesman said the UEA had invested significantly in mental health and well-being services in recent years, including introducing an additional team of residential life advisors to provide round-the-clock support to students living in UEA residences, doubling the number of mental health advisors. For Beverley, the suffering goes on.
It doesn't get easier, not in my experience, and I am learning that I have to live with the loss of my son for the rest of my life.
Natalie Gray, ITV News.
It's just heartbreaking. Our political correspondent Emma Hutchinson is at Westminster. Emma, as well as the petition, the Three Dads Walking campaign was also in Downing Street today.
Yes, that's right. The three dads didn't know each other before they found themselves in sadly similar situations, each having lost a daughter to suicide. Tim Owen from Norfolk, seen here on the left of picture in the purple t-shirt, lost his daughter Emily 3 years ago, and he joined forces with Andy and Mike to undertake a series of walking challenges to raise awareness of suicide. They've walked from Andy and Mike's homes in the northwest to Norfolk to Tim's home. They've also walked from Scotland down to Westminster. Today they were walking up Downing Street to number 10 for a meeting with the Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, and they want to raise awareness, but they also want suicide prevention to be made a compulsory part of the school curriculum. And they've had a debate here, they've handed in a petition before now. They hope that today's meeting with the Prime Minister will take this campaign that step further.
And Emma, what does the government say about the petition calling for a change in the law?
Yes, that's right. The petition handed in today has, as Natalie was saying, nearly 130,000 signatures, and that's calling for a change in the law to make sure that universities have a statutory duty of care to students, the same that schools would have to pupils. And today we spoke to the Department for Education to get their response. What they said to us is that every student death is a tragedy, and we recognise that there are those with personal experience of these tragic events who have signed this petition. which will now be considered for a debate in Parliament. And the Department for Education went on to say that we expect all universities to take active steps to prevent suicides and support students' mental health. We're working closely with charities and the sector to promote and fund effective mental health support, such as the free Student Space online service. So the next step in that campaign could well be a debate here in Westminster.
Emma, thank you. And if you've been affected by any of the issues we've been hearing about, you can call the Samaritans. If you want to talk to someone, their free phone number is 116 123. And there's more information on our website.